Started?
Yeah.
Okay.
Can't zoom. Don't have the mode of zooming.
כל דובר עויני ועדן ובדובר שני ובו לזה. למשל, gives a משל. אדם מסענג באכילה ושתייה. A person enjoys eating and drinking. שנברא בזה, לחשוף לזה. Is created in it to one of this. What it means? The earth prepares the food. Everything that is created for it, this is the pleasure. If you do what you have to do, this is the pleasure. I mean, do what you have to do. The teva, what you have to do, you get pleasure. It means, let's take an example. If the earth makes food, she gets pleasure. There's pleasure. A woman helps her husband to learn Torah. Listen carefully what I'm saying. Every person does the obligation. What you have to do. Okay, we're going to go slowly by slowly. You take objects. You take a pen.
You have to tell me that you have to say that pleasure comes from a woman letting her husband study Torah.
No. A woman is created to help her husband. So it says Chazal. Isha eza kenegdoi. When a woman helps her husband, she gets pleasure. She's created for that. A person does what is created, they get pleasure. Is a etzem.
Where does the pleasure come from?
From etzem adova. Hashem made it that way.
But in the
Teva adova, Hashem made it that way.
it just happens.
No, it's not
It
happening.
happens like this.
No, Hashem made a teva to have that pleasure for them. So teva adova. So when a woman, she's created to help the husband, and she does to help her husband, she feels happy, she feels good. Why you see women frustrated? Because the husband doesn't give her to feel that she's helping him. She doesn't feel she's doing something. She's spending time.
Or she's not doing anything.
She's not helping. She's not helping her husband. The husband doesn't listen to her. She wants to give him more. She wants to correct. The husband doesn't listen to her. So really, she's not doing. She doesn't feel she's doing what she's doing. She frustrated, and it's killing her that way because she's not doing what she has to do. So again, this is so a person is according to creation, does what he has to do. That basically gets pleasure. And what is, I show you 50 examples about it, and soon you'll see a lot of examples. But let's take a person gets up in the morning, he gets up, sleeps, and let's say gives something that is something. I think Shiva said it once one time. A person sleeps in bed after 7. What is it? Shachis here.
7:45.
When is Shachis here? 7:45. He sleeps in bed, doesn't get up. What happens to that person? He doesn't do what he has to do. It won't make him happy. It won't enjoy what he's doing. By definition, he won't enjoy
the sleep.
He won't enjoy the sleep. He thinks, you know what, I gain extra sleep. I won't get enjoyment sleeping. No, you won't gain that extra sleep. The extra sleep you won't gain. You won't get
pleasure.
You won't get your sleep. But if you get up, you push yourself. You get up, you come to the minyan, and you daven, you will get pleasure. Because you do what you have to do. The pleasure comes when you do what you have to do. There's no way out. You have to do, you have to get up. You get up in the morning, to get up.
You created for it.
You have to do, everything. Created to do mitzvahs essence, you created to get away from Hashem, and to medaka Hashem. Everything you created for. When you do that thing, you feel enjoyment. Everybody has to know know your place and do what you have to do. Know your place. The biggest problem they say in all the psychologist books, and all the Chochmas Hagoyim, they say it. I didn't see the books, but I heard from people that said the books say it. Now the person does it, he doesn't know his place. He's like he doesn't know his place. So he does things that he doesn't have to do. But a person that is not doing what he's doing, he's not doing what he has to do.
Doesn't have a goal.
The goal, a person, let's say, I know a person.
That's what it says all the time. The millennials, they don't feel like they have a purpose.
Yeah.
What's my
That's the
purpose?
problem.
So they try to create as many purposes as possible.
The Gemara said.
Try to create purposes. Like this.
The Gemara says if someone learns only Torah, I think Lashon the Gemara is mehavle olam. He makes the world. He's not doing nothing because Torah has to keep. If he's only learning and it's not doing, he's not practicing what he's doing. I think Lashon the Gemara, harei mehavle olam. He's only air. He doesn't get that real pleasure there. He's not doing what he has to do. You have to do, to learn to do. It's not, you have to learn to do. Not only to learn, and learning is the big mitzvah, no biggest mitzvah. No question about it.
If you're yelling at your wife and you go home.
No, but it's also to do. It means he has to daven, he has to do chesed, he has to put tefillin. Every mitzvah he has to do. All the mitzvahs his obligation has to do, he has to do. But not, I'm not, there's nothing go. Now, so when a person does his obligation, is Yehud. I said the word in Hebrew is called Yehud. He does what he has to do, that gives him pleasure. Naturally that way. When a person, I read it again. Call Dova, I'm going to beginning from the top. Call Dova. Oineg ve'edin. Everything has pleasure and enjoyment. Everything. Who? If you create it for a thing, then it will produce you. If you do what he has to do, what it's created for, then you get the pleasure for it. But he doesn't do what it's created for. It's not the pleasure.
Of course.
Now we continue.
You hire a guy as a cook.
Yes.
And you tell him to wait tables. It's not going to be pleasurable. He's working, he needs the money. But you hired me as a cook, not as a waiter.
So then,
It's miserable.
right, exactly, because
You're not a cook.
Right. Exactly the point. You have to do what you have to do. Okay, now. Kol Dor, he says, Amis'oda misanek bo b'achile v'shtiyah. Shenivro b'zeh v'lichsov b'zeh. They won't fit. V'ol ad oretz machine lo lo machal v'zeh teva kol dover. Shenivro azeh v'zehu tanugu. Everything that is created for, zehu tanugu. This is his pleasure. David. Now, Vehine. Now starts the big chiddush. This is all the Akdom. Now starts the Talmud Bomb's chiddush, and it's negat to the Pasha Shavua. 3 lines from the top. Vehine. Anachnu roim beteva bria. We see the teva, the creation. Olam chesed ibone. Underline it. Olam chesed ibone. A world is created for what? The world is built from chesed. The natural teva of the world is what? Chesed. The natural, what is the teva of the natural world? Is what, Yaakov? Chesed. Akol ki akol mi chesed. Everything is mi chesed. Hashemesh meira, the sun is meir because of chesed. Oila haaretz titeh nivula is because of chesed. Mazol shomim akol bechesed. Everything is chesed. Like a pasuk says, chesed Hashem kol hayom. All the world is full of chesed. Ilole chesed, without the chesed, ein olam iskam min rega echad. Without chesed, the world would collapse. Because olam, chesed, ibon. The world, the essence of the world is chesed. Im ken, אחרי שאנו רואים כי טבע העולם, הבריאה chesed. After we know the natural teva of the bria is what? Is what? Is what?
Chesed.
Chesed, very good. Im ken, tzorich odom nis'anik mo b'chesed. This, he makes the underline it. This is called an ekesh. He makes a symbolism. He says, this is a muchach. If the creation of the world, this is called a muchach. He made a statement. He made like this is called a muchach thing, a muchach statement. If we say the world, everything that he does in creation, your creation that is made for, makes you pleasure. The world is created, is essence, is what? Is chesed. So every one of those chesed has to get pleasure. This is the big
That's
hit.
beside of boneh. The word boneh doesn't mean, boneh means build. That means if
It
you
doesn't say
do it.
boneh.
It says yiboneh.
Yivne.
Oh, yiboneh means
Olam
created.
chesed yibne. Yivne.
Yiboneh
Yivne.
means created.
No, yibone. So yibone.
What's that? Building. That's not
No,
created.
yibone.
Is boneh, the word yiboneh is create from the word borei, creation, or is it building, boneh?
Boneh.
Boneh means build, doesn't mean create.
The world is made from chesed. Built from chesed.
Built from
So built from chesed. Built from chesed.
Oh, so you can say who built the world?
The shemesh, the area, everything is the
No,
world.
that's what the world is, but who built the world? How do you know what the world
Hashem made the world. Okay, I don't want to get to Kabbalah. You get the Kabbalists, you get this, it gets above the creation of the world. I'll talk to you later about it. This thing, well, the moment you get what happens to the world, who made the
No, I
world.
just understand why it's a Peshat.
He said, he learns Pshat, everything is built from Chesed. Olam Chesed Ibone. Ibone means all the creation that is built from the world is full of Chesed. Everything is from Chesed. You see, I moved this, the table, the chair, the wall, everything is Chesed from Hashem.
So you're saying that the sun rising and setting is
It's
Chesed.
Chesed. You see this wall here, light, is the Chesed of Hashem. You see this thing, it's Kol Chesed. Everything, every part of the creation, you have a klal and a prat, everything is
So you're
Chesed.
saying since they're doing Chesed, they're getting pleasure.
Yeah, and but no, the Chiddush
If they
is
weren't getting, if the sun wasn't getting pleasure, it wouldn't be doing it. It would change its job.
right. The word they get pleasure. Now the Chiddush is that we, human beings, Jewish people, when you do Chesed, you must get pleasure. That's the Chiddush. That is the Chiddush here. At this point he gets. When you do Chesed, you have to get pleasure. It means to say, if you ask your son, please throw the garbage, cold outside, it's raining outside, throw the garbage outside, and what he says to you, I don't want to do it. So what it means? No, it means it doesn't know the concept of Chesed. Because if you know the Chesed, you will get the pleasure, you will want to do it.
That's why at the beginning of Enoch you give them candy.
Yes, I don't say
When
that.
they do Chesed, they get pleasure. Chesed,
But you have to get
pleasure's
the,
the candy.
right, but slowly till they get used to the Chesed. But the point is,
The real pleasure is Chesed.
the real pleasure when you do Chesed.
Huh?
The real pleasure when you do Chesed, When I saw the story, the famous story was two rich people in the time of the Holocaust. Two rich people. I don't say names because it's not the point. Don't get the
Jews or
point.
Goyim?
Jews. Two rich people. David, listen to the story. There's two billionaires, and they asked, please, one rich person, please give us the Shiva Smir needs to move from
Shanghai, the train ticket story.
the train story. They want to move. It costs from Varsha to Shanghai 25,000 rubles they need to move all 400 Yeshiva Bachim to get the families. Then only the train himself. It costs 225,000 rubles. They came to one rich person and he said, "Listen, the money might say all Europe is going crazy. It's falling apart. If I give you, I'll lose all my money. You're not secure. And one other person, they came to another rich person. He says, "Listen, the situation is bad, but what is my goal? Is to help, to go help. Olam Chesed Ibane. So why my business maybe fall apart? At least I do Chesed. And give the money to Yeshiva. There's something to do with it." Then he said it. He said it. He said, listen to the story in the end. The war started. He gave 25,000 rubles, and all Yeshiva said he gave money to save all Yeshiva. And then the war finished, and that person lost his family. He lost everything. He came like the Holocaust was.
Who was the first one or the second one?
The second one, the one who.
The second one lost.
He came back to me Yeshiva in America, and he came, and because me Yeshiva had a Koras Atoy, they built him back and helped him out to be on his own feet. But the point is, he realized that he basically saved the Shia Smir. Olam Chesed Ibane. He took what he had. He didn't say, "Listen, all the money, everything I have is what? For me. I enjoy more giving to me than enjoy for myself." He had more enough from that. He enjoyed it. He got the chap. My brother Yeshua, his father-in-law, he was more green, so I've been in the Shama for him. So before he left the Holocaust, he had some money. He has extra amount of money. So what he does, he has money. What he does with extra money, he goes and he's running together with Shiva Mir to go to Shanghai. So what he does with that money he got. So what he took all his money. He bought foods, vegetables, potatoes, all food for the yeshiva for 2-3 days. With all money that he had, at least for 2-3 days, boys have food to eat. He said, have the money in my pocket. Will be another couple. Who knows what will be? At least now I can do Chesed with the money that I have. I only do Chesed what I have. The point is, you have to know, and this is the biggest pleasure. When you give and you do your essence, we have to do is Chesed, because the world is Chesed. You have pleasure from it, more than taking it for yourself, more than myself, I and I. Your I is zero pleasure, klape, helping others, pleasure. You train yourself, your I, me, is small pleasure, pleasure of helping others, helping Klal Yisrael, helping Yeshiva, helping Torah. There's a 10 times pleasure you gain from that. This is the Chidush here. Olam Chesed Ibane is, you have to get pleasure from it. We have to train, we have adult people, and we educate people. We have to start to educate ourselves to get pleasure for doing Chesed.
So we have to model Avraham Avinu.
Avraham Avinu, now we look about Rivka. Now we talk about Rivka. And now we talk about Rivka now. This is the subject of this week is Rivka. We didn't get Avraham Avinu was the last 2 weeks. So now we talk about Rivka. Very good, she got it. Yes.
His pleasure was helping others. Why? Because he had a Brit Milah and he hurt. His pain wasn't the pain of his Brit.
He
couldn't help people.
Right.
His pleasure comes
Right. Very good example. Very good, David. Very good. Here we have a different way to explain helping Chesed, and we have to know to help others' pleasure. Not like the Israelis say, you help, you're freier. You're helping, you're freier.
Welcome to Israel.
You help, you're nobody. You're nobody. You gave, you're nobody. This is a crooked idea. It's not an Israeli point. It's a Tzoro's svara, not the Israeli. It's Tzoro's svara. You help, me to do chesed, me. No, Adarabe. Chesed is the biggest pleasure. Because the world is kulei chesed. And this is the world created for chesed. So when you do chesed, you get tremendous pleasure from it. And everyone you can feel it. If you see now a person, how's the shalom, going to die, and you save him, how you feel? Every person in the basement. David, you see someone's going to die and you go save him. How you feel? You saved him, you really saved him. How you feel? Wow, I gave someone. I gave another Jew to be alive. I gave. You feel good. Why? Because you feel the natural of a person is what? It's to give. The natural person do chesed. So the chesed and chesed. What he said, Rabbi Israel said, my brother Israel, and Friday night, he brought B'Shem the Ben Ish Chai. Says, why? He says, Isha tzara b'ochim. Woman doesn't want guests to come. So everybody learns, a woman eyes a tzar. Rabbi Israel said, B'Shem Ben Ish Chai. It's not the pshat. He says, the woman wants attention from her husband all the time. So she doesn't want guests because she wants full attention. So not because she doesn't want guests, she loves guests, but she wants full attention. So what's the chiddush is?
Give her wife attention.
No, when you don't understand, when you get guests to your house, really, and you give others, you get so much pleasure from that, more than your own pleasure of earning, getting your attention. The pleasure of helping others and help others is others, you have more pleasure from that than I get my pleasure of attention. That yourself and others has more pleasure than yourself. Because the world is created for chesed. It's for others, to give others. This is the training you have to train. Because we're Jewish people, we have to train for chesed, to help. And think always ways and tachbulas, how to help others and others.
How does that explain with the woman that when you give to
when why doesn't want ochim? Says the Ben Ish Chai, because she wants attention from her husband. She needs full attention. She won't give it if I be guest, the guest gets attention. This is the Ben Ish Chai says. Rabbi saw my brother said it, and then Shabbos. Not because she doesn't want guests. She likes guests, but she wants from her husband full attention.
No, but this goes.
This is the Ben Ish Chai says.
No, but this goes with the night.
What is that?
Emotion versus logic.
So the point is what she knows, that what? That to help others, you get pleasure from it.
But she has to know that.
She knows when she puts her mind, she says, listen, help others, she gets pleasure from it. Then our own pleasure of guest is more than pleasure getting attention from her husband. She gets more attention from her husband. And then she overcomes that pleasure. And in Mela, what comes out, she enjoys and she feels more enjoyment when you have this in the chiddush. Because the natural teva of a person is chesed. This essence of a person is created for chesed. And to do chesed. So when she does chesed really, she enjoys it and she's happier. She's more happy. If you want to make her happy, you really do guess, she'd be more happier then. Not less happier, she'd be more happier because she's really giving. She's giving her. When she gives, she goes most. Not chas d'shon give attention woman. You have to give her. Different times, different situations. I mean, now you don't, that's chas d'shon give attention. You have to give. But it's a time for everything in every situation. But the point is, you have to give attention. There's no question about it. And if you don't have other attention on that time, so you have to give attention all the time. You don't do the guest. And that's it. But the point is, you have to know the chiddush of helping others, and this gives you pleasure. Gives you the pleasure. We continue to